Not all Mercedes S-Class engines are created equal. Some grenade themselves before 150,000 miles, others just keep running. Today you're getting the only 3 S-Class engines with a real, documented reputation for lasting 300,000 miles, and one of them isn't even a gasoline engine. The third engine on this list? The M119 V8. This one shouldn't work as well as it does. A DOHC 32-valve, all-aluminum V8 built in the early 90s should be the kind of complicated, fragile engine that dies at 120,000 miles. Instead, mechanics who've torn into hundreds of them still call it the toughest V8 Mercedes ever built. The M119 landed in the W140 S-Class in 1991, powering the 400 SE and 400 SEL with the 4.2-liter version. 275 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. Step up to the 500 SEL and S500 and you got the 5.0-liter, putting down 322 horsepower and 354 pound-feet. There was even a rare AMG-built 6.0-liter stroker good for well over 370 horsepower. All versions ran dual overhead cams, 4 valves per cylinder, and forged connecting rods with oil spray cooling for the pistons. Here's the myth people get wrong. They see 32-valve aluminum V8 from the 90s and assume it's the German equivalent of a North Star. Head gaskets, cracked blocks, the works. Wrong engine. The M119's block uses alisyl-coated cylinder walls instead of separate iron liners, and that coating is what actually made the aluminum block durable enough for high-mileage use, not a compromise that caused problems. Owners back this up constantly. One 500 SEL on a Mercedes forum crossed 300,000 miles with nothing but routine maintenance and a water pump. A W124 500E, same engine, different body, has documented examples past 280,000 miles, still running factory internals. Mechanics on enthusiast boards routinely describe M119s coming in for unrelated repairs at 250,000 plus miles with compression numbers that look like they rolled off the line last week. Why does it live this long? Overbuilt tolerances. The bottom end was engineered with enough margin that the factory used the same basic architectural design in AMG's racing work. The race engines were heavily modified for competition, but they share core engineering lineage with the production V8, and factory teardown reports from racing programs noted only nominal wear after extreme endurance runs. That's not marketing. That's the same core architecture sitting under your hood in a much tamer state of tune. It's not flawless. Timing chain tensioners wear out and start rattling around 150,000 miles, and a few $100s in parts, not a rebuild. The secondary air injection system also likes to throw fault codes as these cars age. Annoying, cheap, not a deal breaker. If you own one, keep it simple. Full synthetic 5W40 changed every 5,000 to 7,500 miles. Don't ignore a ticking timing chain, catch it early and it's a driveway job, not an engine out job. And flush the cooling system on schedule, because the one thing that actually kills these blocks early is electrolysis eating at the aluminum from neglected coolant. That's number 3. Number 2 is even simpler, and it might be the most underrated engine Mercedes ever put in an S-Class. Before we get there, let's talk about the one you should avoid. Sitting right next to the M119 in the W140 lineup was the M120. Mercedes' first production V12, a 6.0-liter monster making up to 402 horsepower in the early 600 SEL. On paper, it's incredible. In practice, it's the engine longevity guides warn you about. The problem is the timing chain guides, plastic rail and tensioner assemblies that sit inside the timing case and are known to crack and shatter usually somewhere between 100,000 and 160,000 miles. When a guide fails, chain slap follows, and in the worst cases, the chain jumps time and meets the pistons. Owners on Ben's World have documented full timing case teardowns just to replace guides that never should have worn out that early. It's not the only issue. The injection wiring harness, mounted right on top of the engine, is notorious for baking and cracking, but the timing guides are the one that turns a great engine into an expensive one. It's not on this list and it's not close. The second engine on this list, the M104 inline-six. This is the engine nobody hypes, and that's exactly why it belongs here. No V8 badge, no turbo, nothing flashy, just a straight 6 doing what straight 6s have always done best, run forever without drama. The M104 powered the W140's entry-level S-Class as the 300 SE and later the S32, using a 3.2-liter version making 228 to 231 horsepower and around 232 pound-feet of torque, depending on the model year. It's a DOHC, 24-valve design with an iron block and an aluminum head, a combination chosen specifically for long-term durability over outright lightness. The misconception here is that inline-sixes from this era are somehow less real than a V8 because they make less power. That gets the engineering backwards. An inline-six is inherently balanced, no counterweights fighting each other, none of the harmonic stress a V8 or V12 has to manage. Less internal stress over hundreds of thousands of miles means less wear. The proof shows up constantly on W124 and W140 owner forums, where the M104 is the engine people point to as the buy the car, don't worry about the motor choice. Independent Mercedes specialists have written that most well-kept units run reliably past 250,000 miles, and the factory service literature itself specified a design life around 250,000 miles under normal use, a number this engine routinely beats. One W140S320 owner documented crossing 280,000 miles on the original head gasket and timing chain with nothing beyond scheduled service. Why does it hold up? Simplicity mostly. The M104's cast iron block resists the wear that aluminum blocks are more prone to. The timing chain is a single-stage design instead of the more complex dual-chain setups on Mercedes' bigger engines, and the whole accessory layout was built for easy access, which means owners actually get maintenance done instead of avoiding it. Two weak spots to know. Early cars built before 1993 used a KE Jetronic fuel system paired with a wiring harness that gets brittle and cracks with age. Not an engine problem exactly, but it'll make an otherwise perfect engine run rough. And head gaskets can seep on high mileage examples, usually starting around 180,000 to 200,000 miles, a few $100s, not a project. The playbook is boring, which is the point. Conventional or synthetic 10W40 changed every 5,000 miles. Inspect the wiring harness at every service if you've got a pre-93 car, and don't let the viscous fan clutch fail unnoticed. Overheating is genuinely the one thing that can turn this bulletproof engine into a bad day. And now, the one that started all of this, the one mechanics still call the most reliable engine Mercedes-Benz ever built. The first engine on this list? The OM617 turbodiesel. This engine predates the S-Class name badge on your car by exactly 0 years. It debuted in the W116, the very first car officially called an S-Class, back in 1978. And it wasn't just another engine option. The OM617.950, fitted to the North American-only 300 SD, was among the earliest production turbodiesel passenger car engines and one of the first widely available examples in that market. Before this, turbocharged diesels were far more common in commercial vehicles. Mercedes-Benz was an early adopter of turbocharging in passenger cars. The numbers look almost comically modest today. 111 horsepower and 168 pound-feet of torque at launch, bumped to 121 horsepower and 170 pound-feet after a running update in late 1979. This is a 3.0-liter, 5-cylinder cast iron block and head, single overhead cam, 2 valves per cylinder, mechanical Bosch injection with no electronics to fail. 0 to 60 took over 16 seconds. Nobody bought this car to be fast. They bought it because Daimler-Benz engineers, under pressure to hit US fuel economy targets, overbuilt this thing to a degree that borders on excessive. The block uses oil jet piston cooling, sodium-filled valve stems to handle heat, and a reinforced crankshaft, specifically strengthened to survive turbocharging loads the naturally aspirated version never saw. There's no computer, no sensors to age out, nothing to fail except the parts that physically wear. The myth around this engine is that old diesels just run forever as a blanket statement. That's lazy. Plenty of old diesels don't. What makes the OM617 different is documented. Indirect injection with a pre-combustion chamber design that Mercedes refined specifically to reduce cylinder wall wear, paired with an injection pump that meters fuel so conservatively the engine essentially never overfuels itself into premature wear even under hard use. The proof isn't anecdotal, it's practically folklore at this point. Diesel specialists and owner communities have documented countless OM617s surpassing 620,000 miles and 1 million kilometers without a major overhaul. One New York taxi built on this platform reportedly logged over 900,000 miles before retirement, a story that's been repeated so often across diesel forums it's become the engine's calling card. Mechanics who specialize in these cars will tell you the limiting factor usually isn't the engine. It's everything bolted around it wearing out first. It has weak spots, mostly minor. Glow plugs on pre-1980 cars use a fragile loop-wired design that can fail and take out an entire bank at once. Cheap parts, annoying labor, and the vacuum-operated systems controlling things like the climate and transmission kickdown get brittle with age. A nuisance? Never an engine killer. The maintenance playbook is almost insultingly simple. Change the oil every 3,000 to 5,000 miles with a quality diesel-rated oil, keep the injection pump timing in spec, and don't let the cooling system get neglected because these blocks run hot under load. That's basically the whole job. This isn't an engine that demands babying, it demands the bare minimum, and it repays you for decades. So what do these three actually have in common? None of them are the most powerful engine of their generation, none of them were the halo car. What they share is simplicity where it counts, tolerances built with real margin instead of cutting it close, and decades of real owners putting real miles on them to prove it. Not marketing copy, not spec sheets, just odometers. So, What's your S-Class sitting at right now? Drop your mileage and your engine code in the comments. We would like to see how many of you are already proving this list right. If this kind of deep dive breakdown is your thing, subscribe to the channel because there's a lot more where this came from, including we tested 87, 91, and 93 octane in the same Mercedes S-Class. A clear winner, which might change what you're putting in your tank. Drive safe and keep that oil changed.